Hi my friends, welcome back to another math outreach lesson. Today is the Thursday lesson on volume and surface area. The materials you will need today are your outreach packet, writing utensils, and a calculator. Again, highlighters and color pencils aren't required, but if you would like to use them for the surface area questions, you are welcome to. So just recapping like yesterday with our surface area and volume notes. So when we're talking about volume, we talk about the measure, the amount of space an object takes up, and to find it, we're using the area of our base, capital B, times our height. And so surface area is the area that covers the outside surface of a 3D shape, and to find it, we add together the area of each face in our prism. But to sum it up a little bit easier, when I'm talking about volume, I'm talking about inside. When I'm talking about surface area, I'm talking about the outside. So Vincent puts logs in the shape of a rectangular prism outside his house. However, it's supposed to snow, and Vincent wants to buy a cover so the logs stay dry. What is the minimum amount of material needed to cover the pile of logs? So here we need to use the idea that volume equals inside, surface area equals outside to figure out what they're asking us to calculate, because they didn't give us volume or surface area. They just told us what's the minimum amount of material needed to cover the pile of logs. But I see a key word in here. I want you to take a couple seconds, see if you can pick out the keyword I am looking at that tells me which of those I should calculate. So the keyword I see multiple times is cover. When I'm covering something, we're covering the outside, right? So think about, you put on a jacket to cover your clothes when you're cold or when it's raining. You don't cover the inside of your body, you're just covering the outside of your body with your jacket. So using this keyword cover, I'm going to say we need to calculate the surface area because we want to cover the outside of the logs. We're not covering the inside of the logs, we're covering the outside with this cover. So using that, I can now calculate the surface area to get my final answer. So I have a rectangular prism. That means I have 3 pairs of congruent sides. The first pair of congruent sides are my front and my back. I do A equals length times width. I substitute in 21 times 10. I'm going to multiply whatever that answer is by 2 because there's 2 pairs of rectangles that have the dimensions of 21 and 10. I'm going to go ahead and just write my answer over here. I get 420 as my final answer for both front and back. Now onto my sides, I have my formula, my substitution, multiplying by 2 again, and my answer is going to be 100. Same with the top and the bottom. I do formula, my substitution, I multiply by 2, and I get 210. I'm going to go ahead and add these 3 things together, and you should get 730 centimeters squared. All right, now moving on to our second example on this page. So Lucy loves her swimming pool. The dimensions of her pool are shown below and is the shape of a rectangular prism. How much water can Lucy's swimming pool hold? So there's another key word here that I see that's going to help us a lot. Take a couple seconds, see if you can find the key word that's going to help us figure out if we should calculate surface area or volume. So the keyword I see is hold. When we're thinking about a pool holding something, the pool holds water. And when I'm thinking about a pool, the water is inside the pool, not outside of the pool, or else it wouldn't be a fun pool. So if I'm thinking that the water's inside, I want to know how much it holds, we should be calculating volume because we want to know how much the pool holds inside. Now, to find volume, the first thing we need to do is find the area of the base. I'm going to use this bottom face, the 15 by 4. I'm going to do B is equal to length times width. B is equal to 15 times 4. And go ahead and calculate that answer in inches squared because this is still area. Pause in the video if you need some more time, but we're going to move on to our second step of volume. I'm using my formula of V is equal to area of my base times height. I'm going to substitute in my area of my base times 11. Remember, 11 is the height because it's connecting the 2 bases together. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply those together to get my answer in inches cubed. Remember, inches cubed because it's now volume, not area. All right, moving on to the next page. We have 2 questions on this page. What I'm going to do is not show us the work. We're going to talk about the written explanations because we've been working on surface area and volume for a long time now. So that means you should be able to do the work. It might be figuring out which one we should calculate that will be a little more challenging. So we're going to talk about those together. So number 1, you get a job at a candy factory. And I would love to eat candy all day. So text me your favorite candy if you want. You have to know how much wrapping is needed in order to cover the candy bar below. So here is my candy bar. And I want to know how much is going to need to cover the candy bar shown. So using a keyword in there, I'm going to tell you that this is surface area. So we need to calculate the surface area of this candy bar. I want you to take a couple seconds to explain why we want to calculate the surface area. There's a keyword in here we used on prior notes, so that should help you. Pausing the video until you have a full answer, then we're going to move on to question 2. All right, if you're still stuck on question 1, go ahead and text me, Miss McNeely, or join Zoom office hours later so that you can understand what this answer should be. Now we're going to go to the written explanation for number 2. This time we're going to do a little bit different. So Maria goes to the movies and gets a bag of popcorn, which is in the shape of a cube. How much popcorn could fit in Maria's popcorn bag? So this time I'm going to give you the written explanation. So I said we're calculating one of them because we want to know how much is inside Maria's bag. We want to know how much can fit in the bag, which means it's inside. So using my written explanation, go ahead and pick if that is telling us to calculate surface area or volume. All right, if you are done with this, you should be pausing this video now to make sure that you solve both questions 1 and number 2, so you have all the work shown, not just the written explanation. All right, so you still have one more section to do. It's a little more writing heavy, but I think we can do it. It's just like we just did on that last slide. You should be using your own notes and this video, and if you need more help, of course, you can text me, or you have the option of joining Zoom office hours. So many block opportunities. You can send me a picture of this current screen for 3 blocks, or you could fill out the form below for blocks as well. If you watch this whole video, you always get blocks, so just let me know so I can give you some blocks and you can enter that raffle for some fun prizes. Thank you for learning with me today. I miss you all, and keep working hard.